Welcome to Double Talk. I am Mark Steffen.
I am Michael Mandel. And this is Double Talk.
This is Double Talk right here on Channel 98, the Las Cruces channel.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's on the YouTube channel.
Worldwide.
We are seen by thousands of people, cumulatively.
Over a period of time, it mounts up.
Over the last 4 years, it has to be. Because
at least 1,000.
If one person sees it every show, then we have like 400 people.
If I watch it 1,000 times.
That's true. We are well seen. Today, we are exploring, last week we explored odd variations of vermouths. We did Pim's number one, not number one cup, and we did Punti Mace. These are straight, oh God, we can take it, this straight red vermouth. This is the classic martini.
And
you want to sing the song? Martini and Rossi
on the rocks.
And it's pleasant. It's got a lot of flavor. It's 15% alcohol.
Of course, you can mix this with something, make a Manhattan, can't you?
You can make a Manhattan. You can make a Negroni. First of all, vermouth has so many extra flavors. It's got a lot of use.
We're drinking it straight on the rocks.
Because we're purists. We are just purists, and that's what we like about our... And Mark's almost done already, so luckily we have 3 bottles, and we'll go through all 3 of them during the show.
That's not to say we're going to finish the bottles, but
no,
we
won't finish the
sample.
bottles. We finish our glasses of vermouth, and then we will be moving on. After Martini and Rossi, I think we'll hit this one. I got this weekend from Peter and Susan. And
at your birthday?
At my birthday. Noilly Prat, one of the best French types. Martini Rossi, of course, is Italian, which is most red stuff. Noilly Prat is the vermouth that they started with, white vermouth or dry vermouth. And of course, anybody who does dry does red, and vice versa.
Of course, the dry vermouth is what you use in
martinis. Martinis.
But you can drink it straight or on the rocks as we are.
That's right. And there's a company from Italy that's been pushing their products here. This is Cocchi, C-O-C-C-H-I. I first heard of Cocchi with Cocchi Americano, which is a sort of white aperitif. And this will be the exotic one because it's not readily available.
That's right. So if you've watched the show at all, you know that we're into the cocktails, we're into the libations. And so we always try to have a little something, impart a little bit of information cocktail-wise. So
that you can go out. You can easily get the martini.
You can get this anywhere.
Apparently, Noilly Prat is around.
That's second.
Oh,
actually, I prefer this to this.
Well, it's probably better.
This, not quite so readily available, but it's out there.
Yes, this would be at Celebrate at Albuquerque. It's probably not even at Specs.
Really?
Oh, I was going to show my socks, but I don't think, because I got socks for my birthday too from
Why don't we open the second half of the show with
my socks? We'll start with my socks, but you can't sample my socks. Mark can because he's here.
Please keep your shoes on.
Because he's here.
No, if you wouldn't mind.
They're festive. I like festive socks. So
festive.
Thank you, Carla.
Now, what's the opposite of festive? Turmoil. And we have plenty of turmoil going on down at the county building right now, don't we?
Festive and turmoil. You know what? It's festive for us because it's people in our government.
It is festive for us.
That are doing the normal thing they usually do, which is cut each other's throats.
That's right. And especially in a county as corrupt and crazy as Doñana County is, there's always something nutty going on. And right now we have turmoil down at the county building, at the county jail. The sheriff went in there and arrested
What's his name?
The head administrator of the jail, Chris Barella.
What's his name? Kiki. Well, that guy, isn't that Kiki?
That's the sheriff.
That's Kiki.
That's Sheriff Enrique Vigil.
Or Kiki Vigil.
They call him Kiki.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what he advertised.
That's Chris Barella.
That's when he ran for office.
He was arrested for malfeasance, fraud.
Apparently, what is he?
6'3"?
6'3"
or
pretty
4.
Tall. Pretty tall.
And as Sheriff Vigil was explaining everything, County Manager Julia Brown served him with a
temporary
restraining order
that'll last 3 days. But apparently, she's got a good smile.
And so she did.
So this great fight. There's been these fights because, first of all, the guy Barella, what is it?
Chris Barella.
He had been in his job 10 years. He takes money. He took money. He
inmates'
redirected inmates' money to buy things for inmates. for the inmates. So I guess they have to see if he actually did, or if he misdirected it to his own gambling or whatever.
Like our
Other people.
Diana Duran.
No, man. So you don't know. But it was over a period of 10 years. It was, what
lot
they
of
say,
money.
25, 35,000
He could get 15 years in prison for that. He'd be in there with his old
buddies,
yeah.
friends. I don't see how they can put a guy like that in prison.
What do you think will happen to him?
He will get solitary confinement with...
Well, he's in jail right now in Lee County. They took him far away.
No, but no, he'd pay bail. He was only in there for they took him all the way to Lee County. He posted bail after 3 to 5 hours, and then, so he hitchhiked back.
And he had to come back because, they don't bring you back once they drop you off.
Yeah, so they were like busting him.
They were
I
just
mean,
messing
they
with
really
him.
wanted to get him. I mean, he looks mean there, but you'd be looking
run a
pretty
prison?
mean if somebody busted you for your job, if it is truly, I mean, if he's acquitted eventually, he'll be really pissed.
Yes, he
Okay,
will.
if he's not acquitted, he'll still be pissed. It's a lose-lose
You
situation.
think he'll get his job back?
No. I don't know. It depends on how the trial goes,
It
doesn't
depends on what he's got on the county commissioners. If he's got the goods on enough county commissioners, he will retain his job.
Well, obviously not enough goods for the sheriff to avoid doing this on his own. Just go ahead and do it. And apparently he brought an AK-47 into the jail, which is the contraband. They talk about the contraband he brought in.
He took a gun in a place where it shouldn't be kept in a jail
Yes.
scenario.
But of course, he's like a guard, and he might have needed to show somebody something. He forgot. How many times have you tried to get onto a plane and you bring your 8-inch dagger?
Well,
How often?
I used to be able to take a knife with me on the plane all the time. Remember
Did you?
those days?
Yes, I had an entire arsenal.
You could have taken a gun and nobody would have known it back in the old days.
Well, now you can take a gun, you can't take a knife.
Oh, really?
The knife has to be shorter than 3 inches, but I don't even think they let that out.
You can't even take a bottle of booze on board.
Well, that's true, more than 3 ounces.
Oh.
The gun laws have weakened as other laws got stricter, so that keeps all the people who want to shoot people in our country. You can't go overseas to go shoot people. You have to stay here, and apparently there's enough opportunity.
Well, even you can even be on the no-fly list and buy a gun. You're still okay to buy a gun, even though you can't fly, but you can buy.
And that's why we drink.
That's why we drink.
Because we have rules that just don't
Well,
make
we don't
sense.
want to feel it when the bullet hits us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is that a knock on the door? Oh, no, they're coming in. Oh.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of festivities, the Country Music Festival is remaining downtown. There was talk that they were going to move it out to the Field of Dreams this year and next year because of the construction going on downtown at the plaza.
But
This year, they're keeping it downtown, and maybe next year they're going to move it someplace else. Either
the
over
whole
on
point
Hadley.
the whole point of doing that plaza was because they wanted
That's
to
where
bring
you would
big
hold
things in
exactly.
there.
I don't know why it's taking them so long to build it.
Well, you know why? I
yeah.
will tell you
It's
why.
Las Cruces.
No, I will tell you why. While they were digging things up, that's the center of town where the town started, right? And apparently, every time you dig, you find some archaic type of utility
Plumbing
thing.
or whatever.
Plumbing, electricity,
Yes.
probably gas lines. And these things could blow up. They could explode. They are ancient. That's pretty much where that first church was. So it's got to be the
yes.
oldest part of the town, which goes back, 20, 30
So
years.
the original St. Genevieve's Church was built back in the early
18
1900s,
Yes,
late
so
1800s.
That's why that's taking long. Same problem with Main Street, apparently. That section that I never
North
go
Main
on, but
Street,
you
yeah.
go. That
They
was
found
loaded with ridiculous
Pipes they didn't know
electric stuff.
existed, and yeah,
They found gold and oil and all sorts of stuff.
skeletons.
And German tanks.
Yes. Well, the reason that downtown, the Church Street, is named Church Street is because that's where the church used to be. St. Genevieve's Church was right there. And
You're a world of information.
I am.
And Water Street, it's called that because people used to
because
be there?
it used
or
to
the
flood
water-
a lot.
Oh. And then what's Main Street? That's where the water main was?
The main, yes.
Main Street. And
It's a main line. People use the main line.
what about my street?
Myrtle?
Yeah, is that
There
Myrtle
used to be
trees?
myrtle trees up and down.
Then what about Thomas Street? Guy named, anyway,
Gerald Thomas, former
Yes.
president
of the United States, of
Yeah.
NMSU.
You remember
Yes.
President Thomas?
Yeah. We should have a president. We
Yeah.
can do anything about
So-
presidency? We're not going to.
the
God.
Country Music Festival will be downtown this March, the windy part of the year. This year we had Kenny Rogers he was the biggest star that we had here this year.
And
we don't know who's going to be there next year yet.
They probably know. But we don't
Convention
know.
and Visitors Bureau are the ones who put on this wing ding, the hootenanny.
And you know, it's usually pretty good. I think I went 2 years ago with more recent country music stars. Bree Bagwell was there. I think she's always at
She's
these.
always there. She's a
She's always
homegrown
good.
star.
Whoever they had, you know, they had 3 groups. I think it started with Bree, and she was really good. And the next 2 groups kept
Yarborough
getting
Band,
better and better.
they're from here too. They're always
Amazing.
on deck.
So, and even for a person who could care less about country music, I enjoyed it.
yeah, I like
And
it.
I wasn't even that drunk.
I enjoy country music.
I don't.
I don't like the country music that's gone more and more toward rock and roll. I like my country music and I like my rock and roll. I really don't like them blended together. Call me a purist.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right. You only have one organic country music, right? Organic country music. You can't have be infected by rock and roll. There's nothing wrong with infecting rock and roll with country music. That's what Taylor Swift did.
As I know.
And Taylor Swift is great. I'm of the age group among, you know, teeny boppers, me and teeny boppers.
Yeah.
We're the target.
Were you a
group.
teeny bopper?
I was a teeny bopper when I was a teeny.
When you were a
And
teeny
now I'm whatever age I am now and still like it.
Well, you just had a birthday. You don't remember?
No, because once you have that birthday, you forget everything.
Forget everything.
That's it. Where are we going next with your news of the day?
Well, you know,
We're not going to talk about Donald Trump, are we? Because
No.
he's going to
Who?
charge Donald Trump. I think he charges $3 million for you to mention his name.
Well,
I don't know, or to have him on your
No,
show.
we should charge him.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. Now, speaking of downtown, I really can't get to it yet because we won't be able to throw the picture up that I want to throw up there.
Well, throw up something. You've had enough to drink. You could throw up something.
Well, you know where Dave's
What is the
Hamburgers.
picture?
Dave's Hamburgers is downtown.
Yes, and many people don't know it because it's a small little place on the corner of
There it is.
Las Cruces
And Water Street.
Yeah.
And Dave's Hamburgers has been there for years. Over the years,
Before that, it
though,
was
it's been in multiple
where the
places.
gin mill was.
Used to be
gin-
over in Hadley.
The cotton gin mill.
Yeah. And before that, it was right across the street from where it is now. Believe it or not, where the Convention and Visitors Bureau is, there was the Sun News used to be there.
See, you don't eat hamburgers, but I eat hamburgers, and I've had Dave's hamburgers, and they're really a treat. They're really good.
Dave's green chili cheeseburgers are
Yes,
fabulous.
the hamburgers are great. Dave's will stay open, even though. What were you going to say?
Well, the owner, Donna Lee, passed away, unfortunately, and I've known her since high school. I was shocked to see that she had died.
So you and she are the same age. It was about 37.
Yeah.
You're both about 30. It's a shame that she went so
more or
young.
less, yeah. Yeah, she died young. But her kids have been working there. She took over from her parents, and I guess
They'll
her kids will take
over.
over from her, I hope.
That's how life works in the Mesilla Valley.
And so,
You inherit your.
so all my thoughts and condolences go out to her, to the Lee family.
And her kids.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want to go to Dave's, you could go to Burger Nook, which has pretty much the same type of hamburgers. You know, they pat them together with their hands.
They're very
They
thin.
are really
very
good.
thin.
They are juicy and tasty, and that's all you need.
And that green chili on top, man.
Yes, it works great. And they even have good French fries, maybe a little soggy, but soggy in a good way.
Soggy in a good
Are
way.
you looking closely, trying to see the picture?
I tell you what, let's have a.
Are we ready for our next?
We're
one?
about ready for
Oh,
another
we're
one.
almost ready to break.
We're going to take a break here in about a minute. Let's finish this off.
We'd give you the flavor components of this, but we're not quite sure. It's fruity. It's pleasant.
It is fruity. I'm getting prune, just like I got with the.
But lighter prune, and maybe there's a little bit of apricot. You taste a little apricot-y?
I'm
Sort
sure
of
there's
a
some
fruit,
sugar
stone
in
fruit.
there.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
The thing with alcoholic beverages, they don't have to list their ingredients. I don't know how they got away with that.
You don't want to know what they are. Anyhow, we are going to take a break and be right back, and we will be drinking
What is it?
Noilly Pratt,
Norley Pratt vermouth, right here on Double Talk.
a Votre Santé.
This is an important announcement for anyone prescribed the blood thinner medication Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding, including bleeding of the brain or gastrointestinal system after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Don't delay. Call the Sentinel Group right now. The blood thinner medication Xarelto has been linked to an increased risk of severe internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, stroke, heart attack, and even death. If you or a loved one experienced severe bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result of taking the blood thinner medication Xarelto, call the Sentinel Group now. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now for a free case evaluation. Don't wait. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call the Sentinel Group right now.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burke, and I have a secret. Even dancers have to work to stay in shape. How do I keep my body fit? Jazzercise. It's the perfect workout for me. The latest music, the hottest dance moves. It feels more like a girl's night out than a workout. Jazzercise helps me dance my way to a better body. When's the last time you danced? Find a class near you at jazzercise.com.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors. Where buying a car is always a celebration.
Noily Pratt,
Welcome back. Double Talk.
Vermouth.
Mark and Michael are here.
We're trying to figure out, this has a more taste-forward thing. And we read from the back, this is a French one. Clove, a little clove, slight prune.
clove, yeah.
It says cocoa on the back, and saffron, which nobody could recognize when you got clove going on.
Right. Even though they're both sweet vermouths, completely different,
Yeah,
I think.
different. They
Our
are pretty
producer thinks
different.
they're the same. I see quite a difference.
Yes, once we get to the Koki, we'll actually see. We'll try to get it in sort of midway.
Right.
You don't want to rush drinking this, do you?
No.
No, we don't want to.
There's
This
no
is to keep us relaxed. What are we talking about next?
Well, medicinal pot has
Speaking of
been in the
booze.
news here in Las Cruces. It has been legalized in New Mexico, although the federal government has chosen not to recognize it as a legal drug. You know, we can have
The federal government has
the federal
not-
government.
The federal government is currently trying to pass, I don't know if they're trying to pass a rule that federal banks are allowed to take money from people who sell marijuana because it's causing so many problems with with unsafe cash floating
That's right.
around. These guys are making a fortune in like Colorado and Oregon.
Yeah, they've got these giant
Bags.
safes in their place of business to hold mega cash
With guards.
Now a lot of it is credit card transactions, but a lot of it is cash.
I don't think you can do credit card.
Sure, you can do credit cards.
Well, if the federal people don't let the banks do, if they don't let banks do it, obviously we have never bought marijuana.
Of course not.
Never, and so we don't know what happens to our money or whether our dealers take square.
But here in New Mexico, it is an issue because, for instance, there's a person in Deming who comes to Las Cruces to buy his medical marijuana by prescription.
Did we mention this last week?
We did, and then he has to drive home through the Border Patrol checkpoint.
And they know what he's doing.
And they, once they get to know him, if they ask him if he has any marijuana and he says no, then he's lying to a federal agent.
If he says yes,
He
they
says
have to
yes,
bust him because he's a
no,
federal agent.
Right. And if they run the dog around there and they sniff it out, he's
he's
in
screwed.
trouble. So this is something that needs to be fixed.
Fixed up. You know how you fix that stuff?
How do you fix it?
Well, a friend of mine who used to go to grad school, she wasn't carrying anything, but she'd bring them cookies every time she'd have to go back and forth to Deming. She brought them cookies, they'd wave her on.
Right. So I think it's an issue that needs to be dealt with.
Bake them marijuana cookies.
Pot really just needs to be made legal. I mean, not just medicinal.
Right.
I mean, if he goes to the checkpoint and he has medicinal morphine, or
Can't smell morphine, can you?
he's fine. Or
So those of you who are,
the heroin substitute, what's that?
what? What is it?
Yeah, it's methadone.
Methadone.
If he has methadone, which is a heroin substitute for people trying to kick the hair, he'd be okay. But to have marijuana, he's not okay.
What about spice? Have you heard of spice?
Spice is a bad thing.
Spice, well, but there's many analogs of spice. I am finding
They keep
out.
changing it.
Right.
They'll make this version of it illegal, and
And then they have
just
to run after the
change
next
the
version.
chemistry a little bit more. People go to the hospital 3 times a day in Las Cruces with spice. You never hear about it. 3
Oh,
times
well,
a day.
It was in the paper 3 weeks ago.
Many of them are homeless people, do the spice, because you can buy it over in Valley Drive at the smoke shop. They smell spice, and
Really?
they sell spice at the smoke shop on Valley Drive. It's legal, but it's also deadly. Some people have done it once, and they're in a coma. So it is deadly.
I've talked to those people.
Have you?
Yeah, they don't talk back because they're in a coma.
You're in a coma.
Yeah. So what are you saying, Marky? Oh, we are advocating for legalization of marijuana on the federal level. We are advocating that. And you know, last week we said that the Country Music Festival should not be in the Field of Dreams and should be in Downtown Mall. So because we are saying that we think marijuana should be legalized on a federal level, it will happen.
Well, we promoted, last week, we
said-
promoted the Country Music Festival to stay downtown.
Yes.
They listened to us, and it's staying downtown.
And
So-
if you remember last week we said Hanukkah was coming, and it's here.
And sure enough, here it is. Next week, we'll talk a lot about Christmas, and it'll be here before you know it.
Hopefully.
Now-
Otherwise, because your next topic is earthquakes in Las Cruces. So,
Yes. Did you know that we have earthquakes every day here in Las Cruces? They're so slight nobody notices them, but they are. You can read them on the open-ended Richter scale. You see them plotted, and
is this even a topic?
it is a topic.
I
because
mean, I have
There's-
heart palpitations every day, I'm sure. I don't go run into the hospital for a heart attack.
no, you don't have to.
So earthquakes.
But there are earthquakes. In fact, right here, I can take you up if you know where the trackways are.
Yeah, I do. We
Okay.
explore them.
There are two fault lines running through this area. We have the Rio Grande Rift, and we have the Robledo Rift.
Which is why we have the Rio Grande.
And if you walk up toward the trackways, you can see where those two rifts take over. You can see where the Rio Grande
Yeah.
Rift stops and the Robledo Rift begins. You can see it on the side of a hill.
And you can watch them quake?
Those are quakes. Those are earthquake fault lines.
Yes.
Yes.
But are they vibrating? What
They
kind of
do.
what kind of sphincter scale are they on?
Now, any place that there is fracking going on, you are going to have increased amounts of earthquakes. Oklahoma has been experiencing a rash of earthquakes because of all the fracking that's been going on there. They inject water and chemicals into the ground,
And the ground becomes unstable.
and it apparently lubricates the fault
movement that-
lines, and
yes.
it shifts. So,
Oklahoma doesn't
Texas
get it.
is having
They don't
earthquakes.
get Texas, Oklahoma. They don't get enough natural events that are tragedies. They don't get tornadoes and extremely
Volcanoes.
cold weather and tsunamis. They never get tsunamis. So earthquakes.
They're due.
Everybody wants their share of climatic changes.
well, are they
There
going to have
is-
to start buying earthquake insurance?
Oh God, I don't think so. I mean, minor.
Well, some people consider an earthquake an act of God, and some insurance companies won't insure against acts of God. But what if it's a man-made earthquake due to fracking?
You have to assume there is a God first.
Well, the insurance companies already do.
They assume there's a God. Ah.
Yes.
The
And she's-
insurance companies had quite a thing to pray for with the recent spate or the downfall of hail, because this town got really slammed.
We got
with
hailstorm.
hail.
Everybody's getting their roofs redone.
Yeah.
Is that a scam or is it legitimate?
What do you mean? Is it a scam or legitimate? I mean, the insurance companies come and inspect your roof to determine whether or not you qualify,
Uh-huh.
and
What if they say no, but you really do qualify?
they, well. What's
if-
they going to do? Getting hit with hail sort of just makes weak points in your roof. Whether or not time will degrade them further and
Right,
give you
of
leaks.
course it will.
If you end up having leaks in your roof because you haven't fixed your roof and you got paid for it, well then it's
that's on you, of
Yeah,
course.
it's yours. But
Now, you got dents in your car from the hailstorms, didn't
I
you?
did. Well, yeah,
Did you get insurance money for that?
I did.
Did you fix it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did. They got.
You
I
don't
am
have
not
to.
getting any. I have a lot of things being done, and I'm not getting no kickback or anything.
Now, did you?
Some people.
Were you outside during the hailstorm and take a hit on your head with? I think you might have gotten a few head hits.
You could tell, huh?
Yeah, I
But
think
I
so.
had that fixed. I had
You
my
didn't have your
hair
beanie?
I had my head rehaired.
Oh,
Yes,
Well,
they,
you weren't
they took
wearing
off the old hair.
because you weren't wearing the beanie with the propeller on it to protect your head.
Yeah. Who's that? What's Susana Martinez popping up here for?
Oh, she's on there because New Mexico has been rated as the worst run state
Wait,
in
are we
the
number
nation.
one finally?
Yeah, we're number one in
We're
something.
number one. We're number one.
Worst run state in the country.
That's going to be good because she's going to run for vice president, and it'll be perfect.
That's true. She hasn't declared who she's supporting, though, for
Well,
president.
who is? Nobody except...
Oh, a lot of people are. I see the
Saying
signs
Trump.
all over town now. Some
For who?
people, I got people in my neighborhood, they want Carson. I've seen the Bernie Sanders bumper stickers.
Oh, that's good. We have to support somebody.
I've seen the Trump bumper stickers.
Well, really?
I have.
He must come over and put
I
them
have-
on himself because, you know...
I haven't seen anything that said Jeb. Yeah, Jeb
Well,
is Jeb with an
That's
exclamation
because
point.
it's hard to see 0.5% of the people
true.
who have cars. We got to keep moving because, you know, it's getting
true.
late here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, New Mexico's the worst state. We knew that. Now, there's things going on this weekend.
there is.
There's several plays going on around town, including on Golden Pond, the final performance Sunday.
I believe it's Sunday,
Tomorrow-
2 at 2:30.
Yeah, at the Black Box Theater downtown at 2:30.
To see if you can get in. It's directed by Larry Chandler, who's very good, and we know Nika Zimmer. And some guy, apparently from Good Sam, is playing the Henry Fonda character, and everybody's liked him. So-
Now, Shrek, the musical, opened last week downtown at the Community Theater. It continues this weekend.
Something for the young
Not just for
people.
kids.
Something for the young people, but it looks like fun.
It does. Now, also,
Yes.
there's a production of Los Pastores, which is an annual. They do it
Oh,
every
we
year.
better get the third one.
We have to get this. They do it every year at the San Albino Church over in Mesilla on the plaza. Chris Ripple reprising his role as he does every year in Los Pastores.
Okay.
And that's at, oh look, the magic hand comes in. Arf, arf. And that's
Just like the Subi Sal show.
7:30, Saturday night. It's their 53rd season of Los Pastores. I saw it myself as a kid.
You were the only one there?
It was about 45 years ago.
Oh,
You know, I was 2.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Right.
we're doing Koki.
Yeah.
This should be very
Yes,
different.
Koki.
Let's see.
Now, also,
Whoa, it's
today,
like chocolate.
tonight at Fort Selden, they're doing Illuminarios out at Fort Selden. You might want to go down there. Klein Park, downtown, Mesquite Street. Yeah, there'll be a hayride through the neighborhood there, and festivities happening down there.
And what are we up to?
Also, some Mexican dancers will be appearing, doing their folklorical border region dancing and pageantry. That's going on.
And there's lights
this
all
weekend.
over the city. We could tell you what there are. We've run out of time. And happy Hanukkah. Tonight is the second to last night of Hanukkah.
Yeah,
that
so
means
Sunday at the Rio Grande Theater are the Mexican dancers. You might want to go see that.
Koki red vermouth.
Cookie vermouth.
It's very tasty.
It's a good thing.
It's
We like
really chocolatey.
How much time do we have left? Oh, there's Santa Claus. We'll be talking about, I guess, will next week be our Christmas show? This is our Hanukkah show
We
today.
don't know. We don't know because we're not good at calendars or maps or time.
Or time.
And apparently we have time. Or we're ready. We're ready to go.
We're wrapping it up. We'll
Here's
see you
to
next
you guys.
We'll see you
Cheers.
next week right here on Double Talk.
Drink vermouth.
Down the hatch. Speaking of hatch, I need some green chili.
Really want to try to taste hamburger.
Oh, no, I don't
Once
want the
you get
burger.
the turkey burger.
I just want the green chili.
Get a turkey burger.
Not the hamburger.
It'll be cooked on a hamburger grill, so you have to taste
I wish they had a
hamburger.
turkey burger there.
You know, on a hamburger oil, turkey, we can taste the hamburger.